Hello everyone, this is a special episode about the strategy of Cloward and PIVEN. What is it? If you don't know, I can assure you that you are fully aware what this strategy is about because you are participating in it, whether you like it or not. Especially if you see that huge amount of waves of immigrants are now incoming to Europe. So let's begin this episode. Hello and welcome, this is 321 Crypto and my name is Matthew. Let's go. So everything I'm gonna say here is just my analysis based on this, what I have found in the history. So I will be coughing today because I'm still I'm healthy, but this cough is still remains, I don't know. So don't bother, okay, on this. So let's go. First of all, I would like to show you it's good to read this book. I didn't read it, but so far everything what I was analyzing since last few years is actually covered in that book and makes sense. So today I'm going to show you just the short review of that book as well. But first of all, who is Cloward and PIVEN? Cloward and PIVEN Strategy is a political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologists and political activists Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. It is the strategy of forcing political change leading to societal collapse through orchestrated crises. The Cloward and Piven strategy seeks to hasten the fall of capitalism by overloading the government bureaucracy with a flood of impossible demands, assuming massive unpayable national debt, and other methods such as unfettered immigration to pushing society into crisis and economic collapse by overwhelming its United States, but you can put any different country. So what does it mean? It means that if you will overcome country's capabilities of helping, capabilities of any infrastructure in the country, you will lead this movement to a country's collapse. How you can do that? By providing immigration to such a light number of people that you have to look after, and you will not. It's like you will introduce a guest to your house, but they will be keep coming. They're gonna eat everything what you have in your house, and there will be no food for yourself. Okay? So that's everything's happening now. But first of all, before we're going to go to the strategy, first we're going to go to the book, which was Poor People's Movement, Why They Succeed, How They Fail. Okay, the book was released in 1977. The book argues that organizing the poor from long-term political pressure groups is fulfill and distracts from winning larger gains in moments of opportunity opened by mass protests. So basically, mass protests are being wasted if you want to achieve something. Remember this point because this is a crucial point. This is actually an end game, okay? That endeavoring to what they cannot do. Organizers fail to do what they can do. So if there is a demonstration, organizers could achieve more. However, organizers of this demonstration, remember, demonstrations are not showing just like that. They are for purpose. Okay, if you think that demonstration of something is just right because people are not happy, think again. Somebody is standing behind this. Okay, so when people are burning and looting, organizers used to use that moment of madness to draw constitutions. So basically, if we're gonna see a demonstration, if we will see that, let's say, some media are focusing on, well, like you remember this submarine which kind of died with these people, like what this changed in our lives, but everyone was talking about this. And at the second side, there was a huge thing happening and changes which they were applied by World Economic Forum and other government. So we didn't look there. Oh, it's a square. second side, someone is moving there. Okay, people generally only in moments of crisis do people question the arrangement of society. Massive, rapid economic change creates these crises. Piven and Cloward identify 3 signals indicating the possibility of mass protest. Remember these 3 signals. First, the main harm and indignity falling upon people is a fault of the system and not due to individual falling. So we blame the system. Second, the originally fantastic people begin to demand rights or other forms of change. So look, let's say we put LGBT now, okay, and this rainbow movement, yeah. People now think that, oh yeah, we have to demand. They have to demand. They come from nowhere. We have to demand. Now there's a time to change. And the third step is when the people who originally considered themselves helpless, okay, so let's say, you know, minority groups were kind of, oh my God, we're in disarray, now begin to see themselves as capable of changing their conditions. Sounds familiar? So as you can see, it's not chaos, it's a plan. Welfare recipients cannot easily go to Congress or state legislatures legislatures en masse, and when they do what? Or state legislatures, and when they do, they are easily ignored. So people will not going to go to government because nothing will be done. Like politicians are not hearing people, yeah? That's what they say. That's true. Whereas as the welfare officers, they are difficult to ignore and magnificently disrupt the office. So, but if they're gonna go to welfare office, yeah? Well, they see someone there and they can disrupt their work, right? So then other claims cannot be processed. Context also constrains the people targets of protest. Tenants, that's the example. Tenants experience the leaking ceilings and cold radiators, and they recognize the landlord. So we can call to our landlord, yeah, our whoever owns the house we are renting from, and then demand, hey, fix this, yeah. They don't recognize the banking, real estate, and construction systems, yeah. So people, let's say something will be bad, and let's say someone will cut off the electricity. They're gonna call to landlord and demand from landlord to act. However, landlord cannot do anything, for example, because government, let's say, ban the electricity usage or something. People will not going to recognize this. They're gonna blame landlord. When the poor rebel, they so often rebel against the overseer of the poor, or the slumlord, or the middling merchant, and do not against the banks or the governing elites, to whom the overseer. So that's what I said. They are attacking people which they are close range, but not somebody who is shaking that entire movement, you know, this entire pot. So they don't know that the slumlord and the merchant are also different. So the authors wants to say that people cannot define institutions to which they have no access, but they can, and to which they make no contribution. So the institutions cannot be attacked, but the simple targets, they can. They find that each movement, activists and organizers concentrated on building formally structured mass membership organization of poor and working class people. So remember that each organization, like let's say working unions, yeah, they were created to help people in poor conditions. But very, very, very fast, these lords of these unions, they were quickly assimilated with the elites. So the help was not there. That's why unions are not in favor of working classes. Okay, they try to maintain the working classes so the working classes will not explode. and then they are hand in hand with the elites, with the hope that these organizations would win concessions from the elites that would allow the organization to grow, at least maintain membership. So that's what I said. Attempts to grow these mass membership oppositions groups invariably lead to coalition with elites to support such as groups and attempts by organizers to rein in the disruptive potential of mass movements. So as you can see, everything is a part of the plan. even the working unions, even other classes, even some representatives, they are hand in hand with elites, okay? Hand in hand with elites. So we know now what is the book about, okay? Now let's say the strategy, okay? Strategy. So strategy. Cloward and PIVEN article is focused on forcing Democrat Party in 1966 controlled the presidency on both houses, United States. So basically in that year, you remember there was a movement that black people were still not fully free. They couldn't attempt to work and so on. So they created that system to rule in, to forcefully introduce so that the black people could be everywhere. So it's the kind of it is a kind of racist war, let's say, okay? Black and white. That's what they did, that thing, okay? To avoid further weakening of that historic coalition, the Democrats' administration would be constrained to advise a federal solution to poverty that would override local welfare failures, local classes, and radical conflicts and local revenue dilemmas. So that's what they were doing. The further road, the ultimate objective of the strategy is to wipe out poverty by establishing a guaranteed annual income. So you can see income distribution. Income is not getting from anywhere. It's going from work. So some people will be working and their income will be distributed to these people who are not working. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? Michael wrote that Cloward and PIVEN proposed to create a crisis in the current welfare system by exploiting the gap between welfare law and practice that would ultimately bring out and bring about its collapse and replace with the system of guaranteed annual income. So this is the final goal. They want to create a fully communistic system when no matter what, and you know this from World Economic Forum, this slogan, equal opportunities, equal outcomes. It's like we all have equal opportunities. We can go to school, we can become millionaires, right? Not everyone is getting there, but we can still this. So that gives us this chance that we can work, study, we can do something, and then we can buy a house, buy a car, achieve this, maybe be a millionaire, maybe have just small business, maybe whatever, yeah? That's what we can do. Some people are just working for somebody else for entire life. That's fine, no problem as well. But there is a choice, okay? Someone who works hard and he's smart could achieve more, okay? Or someone who is kind of sneaky could achieve more as well. Imagine yourself that no matter what you do, you will end up with the same result. So in a different way, if you're gonna start playing a match in a basketball, in a football, soccer, rugby, whatever your sport is, lifting some weights, imagine yourself that whatever you're gonna do, you will end up at the same place as your opponent. So if you're gonna lift 150 kg on your chest, you will end up with the same guy who lifts 50 kg. If you play some soccer match, you score 5 goals, you're gonna have the same amount of points that your opponent has. That make no sense. That make no sense. That make no possible sense. So I have prepared some very quick. This is good. Cloward and PIVEN Strategy, a political gambit designed to overwhelm the American government, American replaced with your country, by placing so many demands on the bureaucratic structure that is collapses. Okay, so Richard Andrew Cloward, Francis Fox PIVEN. So import the steps. You can see the main process steps. Import as many immigrants as possible. That's what is happening now, right? That's what's happening now. So check. Equip every single one with a social packet. No problem. Social welfare for everyone happens since many years. And now it's gonna just increase. It's gonna be just increasing, only increase. It's gonna overwhelm everything. Help will quickly overrun countries' capabilities, okay? So it's gonna be them, okay? It's the country will not gonna sustain. You can see people are protesting because the help is going from their taxes. There are no help for people who lost employment or they are in need. However, some new person, family, which is gonna come from abroad, never contribute to that country, will gonna be given a house. And people who are in need and waiting for 2-3 years, they will not be able to get the house. That's what happens in every country. Many. I mean, probably all in EU. Fear and chaos will be announced. You can see now burglaries, okay, in some of the cities, not with all of them yet, but it's rising. Gangs are rising, yeah. So police stations, everything, they don't do much. I think they're allowing on this, okay, so that this will explode higher. 2, society will fall. Law, politics, and economy. So every, like, we rely on the law, we rely on law enforcement, police and everything, but they don't do anything. Shortly, we have to defend ourselves, okay? We gonna be not trusting everyone else. This will create that the politics, which is at the moment, will just die. Will just die. Economy, as we know, will be quickly overrun and everyone will be just running for himself, okay? So that's why this will create this, to introduce a new system in the name of our security. So for our best safety and security, we're gonna introduce the system. So they want to introduce universal social income. That's what communists want. That's why they introduce AI and everything, but it's still, I don't understand still how work could be given for free. That makes no sense. So there is something else to disrupt here, but I want you to focus on entire thing, what is happening now since 2-3 years, when these waves of immigrants are coming heavily on every nation in EU and US now, okay? Heavily. You can hear about this in a Twitter, in a news and everywhere. This is not chaos. This is not random. It is the strategy of Cloward and PIVEN. Remember this strategy to overwhelm countries' structures, to introduce new system, because as they claim, Cloward and PIVEN, they say that nothing will be changed unless middle class and working people and elites will feel fear that these lower classes are going high and will beg whoever is in the rule, whoever is in the leading politician party, to do something so that the security and lifestyle will be maintained. And that is why they are doing this. So I hope you know now, the only thing you can do is to not buying their products, not vote on these politicians, and please share this video to someone you know to open their eyes. So then they will know that this is not random. Everything happens here. Everything was said before. And you can read the book as well. Take care, see you, bye-bye.